All right, guys, what's going on? We're back. Round 3 into the NBPL Spring Split 2024, Day 2 trios. My name is Severio, caster, NBPL caster, and overall fun guy. We'll stop. All right, but we do have into this round for Day 2 the end of Hollowroth. And coming off of last round, we did see a fair bit of snowball comps make their way through this round selection. Specifically, if I'm not mistaken, through the third round selection, which means that it would be anyone between FPX, PvE, J Team, and TE. But more importantly, no success off the bars, except for Alliance to this certain extension. They had themselves alive for a fair bit. If we want, we can actually shout out to Billy for this, because you can do this on the fly, and I really appreciate that off of their end. For the scoreboards in terms of standings, shout out to the interview, but the caster's table. Into this round, I'm gonna look at this round specifically. EWG came out on top, 25 points. They were working their magic through, and then Wolves had 16.5. The reason EWG won really a huge amount of points was at the very, very end, when 9 from EWG was able to just be alive as a Takeda, as his teammates XG and 14 went down. But Alliance was there live. They got themselves, I think, 5th or 6th through the final fights. DRG got through for more points, just basically from the 1 kill off for the placements of that 1.5. And one thing that kind of came out was like Wolves was rocking the snowball comp the best this round. Because we saw ZK, he got Aurora Burst for the Justina, right? And then ZK was able to go crazy with it. If he was looking for it, he found it. There's no other option. Like, he found himself to go to this guy, drop down with Aurora Burst, keeps the control, gets quick eliminations, and gets out of there. But one shout out was BBE taking off TE, even though they got less points from them on the higher placement. They really they found themselves to not get eliminated early on because they found the Wu Chen port when they're getting focused out. But TE won by placement as well as with those extra eliminations at the very end when things got a little bit too hectic for their, for other people's likings. But that's what they take. They take any aggression and they just throw it back towards the aggressors. But into this round selection, I want to see what our players are looking towards in using in terms of first round, second round, because we've been seeing this second round of ultimates or casted characters on the pool to be a little bit different most of the time. Oh, there it is. I skipped it. So I'm curious to see, because we've seen Sand Siphon, but BBE are kind of like, I was about to say BBE, they usually do a funny switching out that first round pick to be something else completely. And when that happens, BBE would then use that choice pick that would have been for their second or third round and consume hero points to choose Sand Siphon as a second or third round when the selection process allowed it. But I don't know if we're going to see an F1 Kurumi again after what was pulled last round from JL. Viper Wish and Testers are making their way. WBG trying to do the Holy Vixen comp again. And then, now this is interesting. See, because there is no bans on the Attack on Titans right now for round 3. Snowball still is going to lock down. Well, no, actually, Tessa is going to be the only ban. So if the teams in the third round want to consume just 1 hero point, they would choose Tessa. I'm not sure if they're going to take the opportunity of doing so. I'm hoping. Where's the sound? I need some sound. I'm talking to myself. But this bans out Tessa for 1 point. JL going for the cannonball. This could be just a straight cannonball shot, and I wouldn't mind it. DRG are going to go ahead and say, bump it. We're bringing out the Sand Siphon because there's only 2 costs, because Zipping Ying wasn't chosen 3 or more times. Kurumi was. Now this is going to be a really close position for them. This is going to be an interesting one because the fact that DRG will take the initiative of double rounding their Sand Siphon comp, because you can get 3 uses max. You can get 3 max uses. When you hit first round selection twice, you can choose Sand Siphon. And then when you choose Temi and Cicada at the same time, To go through for the third time, it would consume 3 hero points, where then they can consume only 6 in their third run of using the Sand Siphon. And they can rotate between Kurumi and Zippying, where they can have an additional 2 hero points for another comp that they can kind of, garnish and using, because if they get second or third round, especially, they can get those points to be consumed. Maybe for Viper, Wuchen, Tessa, maybe for the for the Ketamol comp. Let's take a look at the skills though. All right. It's crazy. I remember last round we had a Viper Wuchen Tessa with the F2, but I can't remember if it was J Team. I'm pretty sure it was J Team that had that. I think it was J Team. Yeah, it was J Team, I think. Alas. You're going to see JDG with the F3. Perfect. V1. Okay. V3. F1. Okay. 4.3 points though, average, right? I mean, we saw last round an F3 Weishan for Justina Snowball comp from, I think, Wolves, and they did a really good job with just putting the F3 out so that she can get a free freeze, and it was really strong. But we'll have to see how that ends up in this round. F3 from Zhao Hu for the Kurumi is good. V3 F3 is making still, it's still there. Or not still there, but like, it's finally, I don't see a V1 F3 or I don't see V1 F3 from Wolves. Oh no, was it V1 F3? Yeah, it was V1 F3. I remember Wolves had V1 F3. I was like, bro, it's not working out. Please don't do that. Please. Parrybell? No, that's not Parrybell. Okay. V1 from Temi from Lee. 16. Why is DRG doing the V3 again for Temi? Oh man, I'm hoping it works out though. And I made my point about this in day one, where DRG did this play of V3. And the problem that came out of it was that you can't get a combo breaker if it's already down under cooldown. Like, not being able to get a combo breaker while craziness is happening around here because you wanted to just catch control. Like, you can catch control, but when you have enemy Tessas around you, when you have Vipers around you, when you have, Sand Siphons alongside you, a 12-second ultimate that gives only benefit to Mulch to be able to just throw out his wisps on command is cool and all, but then he loses the combo breaker. And who can catch that? Tessa's going to have a field day with him, technically. Justinas are going to have a field day with him if they can. They can dash straight through and they can catch him because they're going to have immunity from their Weishans from V3 to allow for her to be aggressive, to catch through for the shield wall. And then there's nothing he can do. I mean, he can throw the wisp as fast as he can, but I don't know, man. I don't, honestly, if they get a better voice, because this was, they played it in Morris Isle. They played this in, round 4 or 6. I believe it was round 4. Where Wuxia 98 rocked this build, and I was like, yo, you're trolling. No, but the thing is no combo breaker, big issue. Solos, you can use V3 F1. I don't have any complaints about that, but in trios, it can be really, really tough against it. Now, going on to this, right, you're gonna see Ben using V2. Like, Tumultuous run V2 first and foremost in trios, and then second is V1, and then I'm not saying last resort, it shouldn't even be an option, but V3, right? But another thing coming off of this end is for EWG versus JL. This is where you're gonna see the F3 Viper, or you can see the F3 Yodohime, F1 Weishan, and then you're gonna see F2 Yodohime, F3 Weishan. Which one's gonna work better? I don't know. I mean, double combo breaker. None of these guys have combo break. Like, one side has combo breakers, the other side has offensive ability between EWG and JL. So I'm hoping to see where they're kind of gonna showcase where it happens in their best benefit. Because OUG did not do really hot last game, but they're good. They're straight. They're A-okay. But proposed points, right? You want to carry those over as often as you could. But spawns here: Alliance, JDG. No, JDG's all out there. This is JL. Alliance, JL, and J Team are all right next to each other in Mid-Top. TE and DRG are in the snowy forest. I don't know why that area is so dark. OUG, though, on Salvation Podium. EWG near to the Cinnabar Valley. Now, they can make their way towards Moonfall Pass, and I wouldn't, think twice about that. Or, no, that's not Cinnabar Valley. That's the quarry. No, that's not even the quarry. That's... I haven't really actually caught the name of that area yet. No, it is. No, that is... That is Cinnabar Valley, because in south of that is Moonfall Pass, and south of that is the Waldania region. But WBG and BBE are right next to each other for boxes, most likely, because I know that area has tents over towards where you can reach into the southwestern barracks towards trenches if you decide to go down that route. But then you see JDG are actually by the boxes at the quarry, where Wolves is in the heart of Plumed, and FBX are out towards the Altar Tranquility. Some really meaningful stuff in terms of spawns for the economy. For good reason, too. It's just, I have to see how this is going to turn out for them for the best, because what's going to happen next is just early game kills into Moonbane, or buy the Moonbanes outright from the boxes. Oh my gosh, I can't see anything. Yeah, but VVE and WBG right here is kind of crucial. They make their way to retaining. If they have a shop there after getting early game kills, they buy Moonbane immediately, and if not, they go to Tang. Round 3 though, last Hollow Roth map. Let's get it. All right. I don't know why I skipped. I'm looking at this from outside. Okay. Okay. Alright, kick him to the face. Gonna try to scare rush if you can through the wall. Zem is playing with fate right now. Nice dodge from Kiki. Actually huge, but RMBs from ZK from that Hong Sword is too good. And then Dragon Slayer comes out. PB can take the Nejaz out. Not gonna go for uppercut extension. Holds blue focus, gets concept pitter patter, F3 safe out of the region. That's a shot right there. That's an immediate Moonbane. BBE already bought their Moonbane. They got one elimination. That's all they needed to take it into buying it. They actually... So we know that BBE and WBG spawned in. And WBG lost to one of their teammates, because then now you can see EWG were actually out here for a quick third party. And they made their way towards it. This is actually really interesting, because a Moonbane purchase just happened right now. Not from BBE. BBE just used their Moonbane. And Wolves has their Moonbane too. Wolves could make their rotation towards this from the Aquila's Gateway, and then click clack towards this fight in Cinnabar Valley. It's not going to take them more than like a couple of seconds during the Moonbane, like 30 seconds through. Parry coming out clean strike. Snack gets a pistol shot for Baige. Sleepwalker hold check. Not going to hold check, dog. Has Bell though. Nice bait out. Actually, nice dodge. Did Ben just iframe dodge that? Woo! Yo, that was tight, bro. Holy smokes. F1? Is that F1? No, that's F3. Oh, she got caught in the whip. She could have protected his teammate. Oh wait, that was their Moonbane. I don't know why Ben iframed through. I don't know why I'm saying he iframed through. This is BB's Moonbane. A-Shot found those kills though. Perfect strike. They're not gonna be able. He's not gonna be able to live this one out. Soul Altar's nearby, but I don't know if they're gonna take this chance of eliminating. Just keep him alive, keep him res, keep him going. Soul Bloom pick up from there for the Tessa. It's crazy though. EWG caught a kill and dipped out. Just one elimination, backed off completely. They didn't have no armor. They only had one person with armor. JG though getting put out here from water, from Tutty I should say. Where is his teammates? Are they down? They are down in soul form. Yeah, you got water coming up in here. Tutty's been holding off on F3. Gets caught in the parry though. Oh, F3 is out now. Do. There's the F1, no blues, and that's gonna tell you can't do anything at this point. XLY though. J Team not having ultimate here is actually a unfortunate. F1 though right there was huge, but Tesla ultimate Moonbane from J Team's XLY. And what's crazy to me is this. What's crazy to me is that we saw BBE bought the Moonbane and Wolves getting their elimination, and yet even after those that 1 minute, they still weren't fast enough to pick up Moonbane because the spawns that happened for J Team to find the Moonbane off the rip was just too crucial. Like it's too like they like onset spawns are so good for the Moonbanes. Like you go for the boxes, you go for the economy right there, boom, you're done. You know, this is pre-season 12 where we're gonna have after season 12 of the initial tide coins, the discounts, the dark tide coins of 90 per second per minute or every 10 seconds, 90 dark tide coins if you cap it out. Which at the point of when you reach discount, you should be using that side of the tree for the preparation glyphs. But I don't know. Forbidden Seal here is big. This is actually going to put XLY out of the region if he can get the F1 nice. F2 comes out. Ooh. But the ooh. What is that? RMB comes out lane. There's ultimate cast. There's a teleport coming out. This is good for now. Now it's good for J Team. I don't know how else to say it, but good job on Lee. Wow. V3 coming out from Viper. This is I don't know. Revenge is using it only as a game of chicken. XY will just go ahead. Oh, he misses a grapple. Oh no. This is his last grapple too. Oh no. He catches that though. Can't walk into the zone. Last fear ambush. Oh, he had 2 more. JL shows up here though. This is big. Launched out XLY. This is Kingdom Come. And then FX is right there in the backline against Lee. Lee is looking to try to reposition towards his teammates. Doesn't happen. Just TXJ just RMBs and gets it off. Lane gets rezzed and horizontal blue focus comes out. Iframe dodge of the Destiny Islands. 4 eliminations. And then Bo or ALL is just holding down Metacore Arena. Gold purple weapon. What is that? Great sword? Full sword? Are they leading it out for TXJ? No, not even TXJ is going through it. They're just chasing out Bo. Miss grapple. That's unfortunate. One miss grapple can take all things into account, you know. Oh, he found it. I don't know why Bo went back in. It's like, oh, look, gold green shows. Might be money. And I'm like, yeah, there might be a whole team here. Uppercuts were good, though. Grapple strikes are coming out. Bo's going to try to scale rush out here. They're not going to allow with the F3 shots. Oh, never mind. So trying to R&B this if he can. Yeah, there it is. And he has Soul Shatter, too. It's actually massive for VVV to have Soul Shatter on top of that. I think one thing that keeps Fairy Shen's consistent is in a fight where they can just they can just be able to just catch people out when they last realized that they were that fast and catching it. Soul Shatter for her especially. I mean, like you use it for the fan for the Yorihime, but Yorihime just looks for big blue focuses if they can. But EWG goes down. Or at least XG goes down. G new, what are you? Oh, why are you hard stopping, bro? OUG has a good economy, no 30k gold, 35k if you want to look at it from an actual value. Into Yushan Ruins though, DRG and TE. It's strange that we haven't seen Alliance. They are down in soul form right now. Finding a Reese position on spots and reses. This is ult for ults inside of this room. Perry comes out, LYD. RMBs to RMBs. Look at this. Well, we're gonna rewind this one because I want to see what's happening. Because this is now they're going for 2 for 2. Now they're going for 2 ults that are down or 2 fights to go through now. Ults are down. The only person who has ults There's no one. Yet they're fully reset and now they're going on ground unit form. That's crazy, WF said. That's actually crazy. And I'll bring this point up when we get the replay. Okay. And the Moonlight's just trying to survive here. I'm like, he's gonna have a chance. All right, so we're gonna replay that fight back because this is a really good spot to kind of showcase what's going on here. All right, so coming off into this end. Now there was 2 sections to this fight, right? Now Han was the first one to get caught out, forcing ultimate, and seeing it in response. WFZ uses it in response, right? Because typically the second person to Takeda ultimate usually has advantage, but only if for first Takeda, right, activates Fear and Blast first. If he doesn't activate Fear and Blast first, the costliness of the Takeda being burned this fast is like, for no value. They know Han is going to be backing off, or rather, Han is going to take the opportunity to back off here if he can. Now, when Takeda ult comes out, he's going to have to go on the offensive because he just burned an ultimate. That's mainly just to turn things around. But the problem is, we know DRG, they're full health. So is Han. He was getting ambushed by 2 of the members. Now, WZ shows up here. Now, he has to act ult in response. As you can see, though, WZ is the first person to use ultimate here for Fear and Blast. Now, Taehi Han still hasn't gotten any healing back. He got F3 from his Kurumi. Not taking any damage. Fear and Blast number 2 comes out here from Zed, and Han is still the second person to use Fear and Blast. Now, at this stage, what kind of happens here is that Han being the second person in the second time in a row kind of makes me a little bit worried, right? Because it's like, okay, we know that Han has actually getting some heals back from this Kurumi ult, but Zed was throwing blues left and right. Any opportunity he can, boom, 1.0s, horizontals, gets caught to the whiffs. A parry strike comes up from LYD against Han, or against, I think, Wushin, which Wushin takes that pushback, and then WZ loses his 3rd Fear and Blast, and then, all the actions coming out here, he's going to have to use his last Fear and Blast here to actually force this up. And as a result, Moonlight is burning ultimate here. It's burning lamp oil, if you will. All of TE loses their ultimates. Both Tumultuous have ulted. And they're repositioned for round 2. Now, into round 2. I'm not going to say due to the mistakes of X player, because all in all, at least at this point, you can attribute that, you know what, ult for ults, I'm okay with that. And it's up to how the team wants to push in to see, okay, who is the person that made it happen? Who granted the enemy team an advantage on the. And you see, Wushin's the first person in. He has his F up ability up. We know that the Wisp is down for LYD because he was able to utilize that off of the parry off of Wushin, in which Zed had to use. WFZ uses his Fear and Blast to come out. But what happens here is that Wushin backs off here. WFZ rushes into Leo's gaze, right? F3 is out. He throws a 1.0. TE Leo immediately responds to that parry, or with that parry, even though it's already been released, even though it's outside of the reach. WFZ releases a 1.0. I always like to throw 1.0s. Like, if 1.0s are going to be released for whatever reason, and you see an immediate reaction parry come, well, not a reaction parry, but like even after their animation and they're still not safe in hindsight that they release a parry, that means that these people are looking for those 1.0 parries regardless. Like, they're really late towards it, even though this animation is done. If he was trying to catch the rubber band off of it, but at the same time, that gives you notice that this person is, this player or this character, whoever it is, they're going to be responding to those quick parries if they can, and from a fan no less. So that's for 1.0s, which means opportunity strikes when you go for a hold check, they might double parry. A lot of players, you've seen this happen where they double parry, and this is a consolidated fight for now between WFZ and Leo, where Wushin and this, you can't see him behind the Moonbane bar, but he is right there in terms of Shadow Corruption. But what happens here? Rip. Big rip. I mean, the biggest thing coming out from this uppercut is that it delays this amount of damage. But the fact that WZ then releases against Han, who has a pole sword, right? you know, like he could have delayed it until the blue focus came out. If Han was really looking towards and releasing a blue focus for the pole sword, WFZ could have just waited it out by a couple of milliseconds, right, for a little bit of a hold, and then just go for the stone form proc, because then at that point, that doesn't allow for this next move to happen, which is complete decimation off of Zed's position, which they catch him on his escape. Wushin gets caught into the RMBs. Moonlight just gets decimated by Han in the background, who then receives, and seeing Leo or LYD get the elimination of Wushin, which then gives WFZ a little bit more trouble here. So it's not to say that it's all in against his favor and how he proceeded to fight that, but usually in team fights, you got to keep an understanding about, you know, the motive of your enemies. If they are parrying, in the case scenario how we saw the parries that the parries that Leo was trying to gather from Zed, even though he was in a high ground position, even though his F ability was mid cast, so for him to get a parry would have been highly unlikely, right? For the vertical position, WFZ should take that realization about how his other teammates could be looking towards that. And even then, the weapon selection that you see is a pulse were coming in, delay it. You see him like hold it for a little bit longer, dog, because the thing is that that jump parry is always going to be something people will look forward in doing against Fan. And they take this chance to kind of reverse this around. You can see, you know, against Wushin that they just catch him in the wisp from LYD. He locks down, gets caught out, and LYD just looks for those Fan strikes. So just making sure you can catch your teammate. Obviously, the uppercut was unfortunate because Wushin got that Dragon Slayer. And uppercuts are usually a good chance, but when he caught that Soul Shatter, right? I'm not saying there's no value into this corner, but the problem is that he's launching him into a corner that has a walled off, section. So for him to get an uppercut into this jump LMB, it would have trapped him. Maybe perhaps that would give Wushin a more chance of as a teammate, right, for Zed, to see where Wushin would have been able to prioritize off of Leo. But one thing that comes out from Wushin is that since he was already in Dragon Slayer, there's nothing that he can really do to consider, or not consider, but being able to take priority in staggers. But then once this parry happened against Zed, Wushin couldn't focus on Leo as he was hoping for, you know. So it's just really tough because the first fight was his ultimates, and this was just when one misdirection happens, it changes the whole flow of things. And DRG took the blunt force of this. They still have lives, they still have chances to make this back through, but we still have to take a look in the scene about how that will end up going through for their future engagements into this round. But then again, you know, it's kind of hard to kind of see about how their relooting is going to happen after this, because they are all in Yushan Ruins. There's only very few places where it can actually end up being very beneficial for them right now. It is crazy that the Mystic Might is being flooded upon in City of Tang. There's around 5 teams there at the Roaming too. That's a crazy spawn. JL actually has this one for Chikaviana. They have no problems in entering. This is the second room or the first room, because there's no way that there's 5 teams just waiting this out. Unless they're fighting right now. If someone starts to fight, if someone starts fighting these guys or starts fighting outside of Roaming, this would be a reason. Even JDG aren't entering it. How is there 5 teams at the? How is there 5 teams at the Roaming Ring? You know what's actually kind of crazy though? You know what's crazy is the fact that for the first time in a long time, actually, this is the first time in a long time where I've seen a Morris Blessing right next to a Roaming like this. Even though it's across a whole gate of the southern gate of the southern wall. If BB were able to get that Mystic Might and go straight into the Roaming, they would have such a strong advantage. But WBG take the 3rd slot here. Or the 2nd slot. 3rd slot, but the first room, the 2nd room, I should say. JL versus OUG. TXJ rising to the sky, looking for the pistol shots as he drops down. He's the ground unit as he should with FX, which is good because now it forces them to push into target. That's how you got to do Roaming Yings, where you don't. Not everyone goes in the sky. Like not everyone should go into the sky. Someone should stay on the ground level if they can, right? Maybe they bait out everyone going to the sky, but then you force everyone to go towards you. Range shots or not, a Yodohime can defend it with the light projectiles with their F2, or even just pushing them back with the F2. That recast and reposition away from this team, though, that goes hard. And then you can see FX is the next person on the list, looking for the scare rush off of it. Decides to go for the backliner if he can, but FX has ultimate, so it's going up to SS or TXJ. Is he going for her? He is going for SS. That's great. That was amazing. That's actually really incredible. Shout out to TXJ. He might get pummeled here if he's not careful. Right, because Ying is looking for him. But he's getting denied by FX. Yeah, TXJ is looking to close in here. Mid-air with the F3 to push back. And then Yu finds ult again? Question mark? Wait, he found ult again? Did Yu just never ult? No, he was in the beacon the whole time. I don't know. I'm being dumb. But I'm going to go back to this fight again in the beginning to make my point. I was like, that was really brilliant from TXJ. Focusing FX. F3 is available maybe for him, but he's getting healed over time with advanced heal. That's crazy. F3 shot to give him the silence, and then that's an RB. So, TXJ, fantastic push into the backline. Let me see if I can try to get this replay coming out here. So, what happened here is this. Where in the beginning, right, I made that point to be mentioned where he drops down, right, he forces them to go up because they think he's gonna stay up. He's staying down, throws an F2 right when they're on the arriving end on the ground level, so it pushes them even further back because of the angle. I'm not gonna like the explanation for how Yodohime's Spirit Blade works is kind of weird because F1 can launch somebody like miles away, but then once he F2s this, he doesn't go straight in. He's not cocky, right? He's not aggressive. He doesn't go straight in. He backs off. This allows for his team to look for the engagement here. And we know that this beacon drop is going to be to the benefit of them because if either FX or if EVV needs it, they can go into it. And then a beacon drop from SS then gives, then gives any of the OUG guys what they need, right? In which they use it in response. And then FX has ultimate second to Xingyu. But what happens here is where TXJ had done this job, he let them follow into his tracking, into where he is, finds him. He made the risky play of throwing out the F2 in midair, but it works out because at the same stage, he's blue focused. So he can essentially just throw that out and it caught them out. And then they decide after he F2 recast that he's going to go all in. Not the case. He backs off because his teammates now have a reason to fight this pair of two instead of focusing on SS. Usually people would say, focus on your, you should have been focused on that. No, because he knows that SS, the Fairy Shen who's in the distance, is looking to beacon down her teammates because she sees that there is there's a reason for her to be able to get her team to save her if needed. Because you can see how low SS is here, right? Took a couple of hits, allowed for it to happen, and what happens is that TXJ gets into the back line. The moment that he's able to F2 recast, he backs off completely and makes a nice counterclockwise rotation, where then you can see the ultimate cannon shots coming out between you. But this is the thing, TXJ knows exactly where SS is. He knows where the position of where he took behind the pillar and where Yu is in cannon form doing light cannon shots, and we know that that's why VVV is ignoring him because he counted how many shots were being made. This is where you see JL's FX looks to focus onto SS. And as FX focuses down onto their Fairy Shen from OUG, this gets full priority right now for TXJ to get this kill, which then forces the 2v3. So that's why going into the air may not always be the play. Usually you take the time to actually just consider about who you are and how you can reposition the enemy team to play the game of chicken. That's why Yodohime is such a prevalent. Like when you're playing Yodohime, you also have the most important role. You like outside the Romy Yang, Fairy Shens kind of have that important role to be call out things. But then Fairy Shen pseudo circumvents that as well, where she's able to call out certain actions to be made by just doing them, not saying them. Or she's like, I'm like, they're all coming towards me, right? I'm gonna push them back with my F2. I'm gonna recast, and then I'm gonna make my rotation because I know you guys are gonna come to support. There's a beacon. I'm gonna go back off. there's the Fairy Shen mech, there's a Fairy Shen mech, and then I'm already in their backline where the Fairy Shen had just casted from. It's really good stuff from TXJ to find it as fast as he was able to catch them off. And even with blue armor, he was able to sustain that push that they were trying to make onto him. Different story maybe if we saw you actually had F2 recast off that end, maybe. Completely different story. Like in terms of like if he wanted to F2 recast immediately after throwing it off in midair, because they were probably looking for grapple staggers. If he was looking, because you saw TXJ was using pistol shots in the beginning, or he switches out for the pistol when he was in the beginning, where he was like in the pistol, right? And they might be looking for grapples, but they go straight into ground uniform, right outside the recast range, backs off like just like that is beautiful. It's good stuff. But we'll have this to be into that Romiang OUG, or not OUG, JL will pick up their gold, purple weapon, gold weapon, and our purple armor and then gold weapon, and they'll be good to go. So, hoping, I mean, like, they got themselves 8 eliminations so far. So I'm kind of hoping to see where they kind of stand out here. In the meantime, they're in by Fortress Kaviana by themselves. DRG goes out of the Romiang. No, not out of the Romiang. They haven't even got any eliminations yet. And he got eliminated. Well, at least Wushin got eliminated. But TE are looking for round 2, man. TE are hunting. This is them after the resets into Yushan Ruins, so it's kind of tough right now for them. Gonna have to see BBE over by the Wildania region. They're actually nearby towards the stash or slash cave. OUG spawning in here. But then there's another enemy team trying to back off here. Is that WBG? WBG are hunting them as a result because they're right there too. That's crazy. It should be pretty good though. I mean, they got a couple of seconds here. They need to make sure they're not in the eyes of JL, who are over by the Fortress of Kaviani, but over by Grizzly Rise, you are able to see Wolves and FPX's team as a whole just hanging out towards the end of the zone. They have Soul Blooms because they only got 1 elimination, so I don't know why they're hanging out in the zone like this. They found him. Chase game. Zhao Hu is not the only teammate here. I'm not sure where his party mates are in there, whether water or not. And then WBG looked to try to hunt down OUG as the reses were made. WBG, remember Holy Vixen comp. We're going to see Sleepwalker look for horizontals, verticals. Okay, this is where it comes out to play. You can see the Fairy Shen gets immediately out there. The Fairy Shen actually gets out there completely just to make sure if she doesn't get enchanted that she does not get grabbed by Sleepwalker. And this is already the counter towards it. Like, you have to be quick with it. I'm curious to see if Sleepwalker can do the dang thing. The enchant happens. Oh, man. I got real close to the mic because there's no way, right? He could have gotten that grab, man. Actually, he would have gotten her at the mech. That's the main priority targeting. Sleepwalker looking to try to grab Yodohime again as well. Gets you. Tries to hit the mech. Not going to happen. She's in cannon mode, dog. And a recasted ultimate from Aisha forces it away from Sleepwalker. And then OUG's SS can look to go into cannon mode after farming off damage right into the heart of danger. 3, 2, 1. Cannon mode's engaged. F3 could give him enough sustain here. The U finds a kill off of Aisha. Cannon shots back to back. And there's nothing that can be done here. This is a really tough opposition for WBG. I was thinking, like, I know I was watching coming through, people said that this is the guarantee where Tessa can do the double down of when she catches Fairy Shen out of mech mode to enchant for Tian on the grab. Yes, but it's also where Tessa can keep the prolonged grabs from happening. She can allow it to happen for free, and that comes where where Tianhai has to grab somebody outright, and then she lines up the person that's grabbed onto another combatant like the Wei Shan, the Fairy Shen, and just have them to be the secondary enchants on top of that. Where then if they hit the ground off of the ground, they'll get caught into the enchant for a second grab to happen. But it was kind of tough how Sleepwalker looked to grab you and immediately slam him down. The Fairy Shen was free bait. That ultimate would have been done. SS would have been eliminated. So it's kind of tough to see that. What it is, what it is. Everyone seems to be chilling out here though. 10 kills for JL though. Pretty good. Oh, interview. I want to hear. Okay. Okay. TE and OUG. Or TE and J Team. He said year or? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he said year. Okay. Tentatively, okay. Hey, we're really impressive. Yeah, thumbs up. No, that's really good though from FX. I think him as the way shot in this comp, I can see where he stands to say I'm a little bit afraid, to go into the fights because of, how like if I let go of one side, then the other side takes domination off of, like, for instance, his VVV, right, the Fairy Shen. But what we saw in the Romiang was where FX find the right chance of opportunity, the ripe opportunity with TXJ, which is one example in recent memory. So for him to, like, kind of conclusively think about TE, think about J Team and how they kind of come through and cultivate their, iconoclast? Is that the word? Like, is that the word for it? They're iconoclast towards the NBPL? Might be the wrong word usage. I'd rather triple check that. All in all, though, he's just trying to make sure they're living up to it. I mean, as anyone comes through into this, into the pro league, because you're looking at this from a standpoint where you may not be able to define one action except for what matters most and what seems to be the matters most, which is the win. And then there's instances of that rare case, area of where you as a player, you can do, I'm like, this is layman's terms, but you can be very, do shenanigans and be classified as being, okay, that's that player that knows that they're doing this, like they know what to do. It's kind of tough for a WFZ. We're not gonna watch that, please. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna watch that. 1v3. Wait, what happened here? What's going on with DRG? He's really going for the LMB uppercuts when there's an enemy right behind him. All right. You're like, what happened? What happened? They're like, what the heck just happened here? Wait, why did that go in alone? What happened? Let's get a replay because there's got to be a reason why. There's got to be a reason why. Where are Wushin? Where is Wushin? Okay, T comes out here. JDG are on DRG Moonlight. Okay. That's got to be the reason. They got ambushed before the Romiang. I think he thought he was safe, but then it didn't come out to be safe. Oh, even Wushin. No, Wushin is dead. Yeah, they got big ambushed. Try and luck out, I think. Okay. Yeah, DRG are not having a great game 2. Or game 3, I should say. Like, they're second place overall, so, like, hypothetically speaking, they should be A-okay for games 4 through 6 in terms of scoring. Or for, rather, placement for finals, but I don't know. I mean, this is kind of tough for them to kind of come back from. For this round, at least, But they still got 3 other rounds. They got more solid work off. Stagnation period or the Ice Shard Lake with TE. San being, fan wielder. It's crazy to see he only has 4 eliminations into this round. Wolves has 8. JDG coming out here with, I think, 4, yeah. So Draco Storm's out here. Han is the wielder of the Draco Storm, if I'm not mistaken. So he is the one who says all. Windsprout catches Han. He's got ultimate coming out here in a second. Even though these double Windsprouts come back to back, ultimate cast was perfectly timed there. Weishan ultimate tries to push back. Justina gets it, so freezes. That's a Yodohime slash to come out for the V3. And this gives Han enough time to rotate out, avoiding the Weishan for 1 second. Has Furin to push him out, group him up. Windsprout Soul coming into Justina's pace. Soul Shatter doesn't come out here, but we do see him not take any damage from that slash from Weishan. That's the F3 from the F3 from the Karimi. Let's talk about that. This is the last part. Yeah, F3 from Karimi there was clutch, giving Han no damage taken. EWG looks to try to take the scraps of the kills, and they find PP. 2 eliminations for EWG though. Kiki on the outskirts. 9 grapples for the boy. How loud is this? It's not that loud, right? I want to make sure the volume levels are right for these videos. I'll look back in the VOD. I don't know, WFZ though is you know, by himself. I'm hoping to see their cannonball, or yeah, like their cannonball looks to be alright. Oh, wolves are hunts. Yep, the wolves are hunting. They smell blood, of course. Yada yada. F3. Old cast from dead. Gets the armor swap of destiny. Gets caught to the horizontal blue focus. Assassin's lunge doesn't hit. The Tesla ult doesn't hit. Massive. That focus line working magic though. I don't think Zed's gonna have much time to live after this. Close. Nice avoidance. But yeah, he gets caught out. It's not really much he can do there. Now, crossbow bolts are actually dropping out here. Let me just load the volume again because, you know, it's a little bit loud on my end. Was this first round game? Oh, it is. Team JDG, I think, won. I couldn't even tell you. I think JDG did win this, though. All right, let's take a look. Because remember I said about Snowball versus Wuchen's. Like, WBG might not have the greatest of opportunities here. The tether was happened, though. Nice parry. Enchant happens. This is free grabs. Doesn't grab the... Oh, doesn't grab her. Oh, he doesn't get the freeze, though. Oh. Windspout to the Windspout. Jeez. That's tough. So much consistency right now for the Justina with that Windspout. Nice dodges coming up from Sleepwalker, though. Alas. This will be finalized out. Like, the thing about this Holy Vixens comp is now that snowballs are a thing, oh man, does it impact them. It impacts them so much. The fact that now Justina can make her way into the comp scene is like a rub your eyes moment out of frustration. Because the fact that she can just stop that slam down, the fact that she can't be, I mean, she can be caught from the Tianhai, but she's lightning fast. You have to be aware about where your positions of grabs are really going to count, because you can do what Sleepwalker did. He was very react grabby, where he looks at, he did a 180 grab last round, or he attempted to against ALL's Lane, but it just doesn't happen. Lane just zips across the field, catches him into this side of getting a free freeze off of double hit, because big target, little target, you know, and he can catch those refresh on the freezes consistently. Now that there's a big target for him to just hit it into the, you know, into the ankles, like he got hit by a scooter. This is going to be difficult though. J-Team does have the God build right now. Yeah, they need to reset this armor. Forbidden Seal active, you know, shopping. I just want season 12 stuff to happen, so these guys, you know, we have to see what they kind of prioritize off of gold. Oh my gosh. Wait, was that one armor pierce shot? Yo, that was one headshot from EG? Who was that from? That was not from ZK. Yo, someone just hit him with that mad headshot. He would have been dead the second time. He doesn't have wait, does he have any range resist, Jades? Oh no, he needs some range resistance. Nah. He might need some range resistance. Cause he got double melee, triple attack, and then 1 health. But like the problem is that Yodohime's, they could end up getting struck. The only thing about that, though, the reason he doesn't get range resist is because he's depending on VVV, Rupture Gale, or Farius Shen here. You know, go whack-a-mole, and just giving his teammate, you know, the ultimates. Which even at the same time, I'm thinking about VVV. I'm like, okay, yeah, it makes sense, you know, for the 1 range resist. But the problem that comes out is that a lot of that damage could have been prevented off of like the inch by inch percentage points that do make a difference. 10%, what, 10% range resistance? No, 10% headshot resistance, and then 9% melee or 9% range, just in general. And that headshot resistance of 20%, like that 10% can like save your life, because he could have gotten headshot twice and he's dead rather than having to take 3. You know how much of a field day you know how much of a field day that Tumultuous would find in just catching an armor pierce and having an enemy that doesn't have any range resistance? Like it's just like the moment, like that wisp right there, you can see you is there too. If he gets caught into a wisp, he can get caught into a double shot from musket. Nothing to save him. EWG has high ground, but they're gonna be passive for now. Alliance looking to try to rush through. They're 1 elimination so far for Bo. Oh, nice bow shot. Off the ends, okay. Cannon shot to come out. And XLY looking to rotate around. I wonder if the solos players are playing scrims. Well, they are playing. They play. Okay, so solos players, they actually play in scrimmages on the days that the trios happen, and vice versa, where trios plays on solos days. Consistency for scraps. Okay, protection. Windshield wall to the sanctuary of lane to get the soul bloom or the gold armor, which is good. EWG though having to force ult here. Looking to cannon shot 9 if they can. Not cannon shot 9. Lane. I'm looking at 9. I'm like lane. I'm like no. But that Moonbane is kind of griefing the whole center region, and EWG is not having. Oof. Where's XG's ultimate meter at 60%? Okay, he's doing work. Soul Slash and Thunderstorm to deny range shots. What a world. FX is actually more beneficial for Soul. Okay, no, he does Thunderstorm because now the XOY is pushing this. XOY is kind of mad light energy though for that. I gotta be honest. Now 0 seconds. Okay, that was the last Moonbane. Gotta be careful what the supply game is looking like because they're dropping heals for repair chests. No, you need to be careful if this cannon starts coming out here. I don't know if they can actually cut the cannon shots through the walls. Probably, right? Because that's what they're doing right now. It's intentional. Yeah, shout out to the Viper skin. You know, I think that's like 950 consolation for that Viper skin. 950 plus, the extreme rarity, but it's still not, it's not the white leggings. Boost up.
突然给你一脚，或者突然上来给你一发。看一下各位哦，这边点到的
是 goes down.
J Team 有点烦啊，头上这个神庙直接把小鲤鱼打到一个破甲的状态。不过好在旁边没有后续其他人跟伤害。就是压你位置了，有没有击败不一定。但是我这波得把压力先打出去，让你消耗你的一些。
I'm looking at this from the outside looking in. I'm like, okay, JL has his chance now to back off. Or TXJ does have time to back off while VVV just keep farming. VVV is at 60%. It's like the average of what you're seeing for Wayfarer Shens to actually gain their ultimate rage at. But since everyone's locked into that building, there's nothing that's going to stop them. Slow the volume real quick. Not muted. Slower it just a little bit. So OUG have this building, and you know they can kind of work off of this building, but the problem that comes out now is whether or not they can be granted refuge after this zone starts to close in. XOY though gets caught into that Temi Wisp into the ultimate, not looking great, and Lane is actually there to kind of keep it going. Lee eliminates Revenge and Bo in one fell swoop, dude. Look at this. Yeah, Bo goes down. Lane goes down. Focusing around. Rotating around. JL looks for that ambush. Perfectly done, because now this Wu-Chen shield walls have to be used for this quick engagement. Test someone from ZK though, and that's a Wu-Chen ult inside or outside of this region, but where'd they go? Inside the building? It's gotta be. It's gotta be, right? Yeah, TXJ looks towards the beacon drop, but wait a second. Yeah, right. It's funny because he took that shot, and he 19 now has a full reason to now throw his slashes out at the Furious Shen. But VVV is quick, man. Slippery slopes. Yeah, VVV went off into the F3 because since he's able to get himself aloft into the sky, he can actually just take his time and, you know, just taking the time to avoid the slashes from reaching him because he can iframe through it. Not iframe through it, but like reposition, like do a 180 or 90 degree turn. But TXJ having ult here is really, it was a really uh-oh moment. Yeah, because it's a whisk throw, right? FX, TXJ throws out the F2 to negate any light projectiles. JL rushing around. Eliminations so far have Wolves at 13. 13 eliminations. JL at 13 as well. And we still have J Team at full capacity. BBE also in the same boat. I'm looking for the scoring. They're in third place overall. Wolves finds their 14th kill against Water from FPX. FPX is fully eliminated because of that, and OUG finds BBE snack. I'm looking around because I see TE. TE just went off on BBE's Roishishi in the distance, and then Ivan is the only faceted person alive. And then healing passively. Oh, you can see Wolves is just locking in. Looking for a TE. It sucks because I heard ZK's ultimate right beforehand. And ZK does not have ultimate to kind of work off of the Viper. T finally kill off the bin. That's the final life of BBE. Xingyu looking towards this. Keeps cannon mode on fleek, and I think right then and there, Yu is going to have a chance to ult here in a moment. Yeah, he's looking for a dragon like Mike, catches his enemies, he's in the corner, going to have to ult here in a second, 2, 1. Gets caught out anyways. He really put it, like, Yu really pushed himself in there. Like, detrimentally pushed himself in there. But, you know, They still got the Fairy Shen. Still building up. VV is pushing up with TXJ onto JL and OUG. Or off of Xingyu, I should say. And Xingyu is dead. Okay, old cast from TXJ. Waits it out. Misses it. I think he's going to look towards this, yeah. It's a lot of lives to be on the line for a flip ton of like eliminations. There's a Temi ult coming out from LYD, from TE. And I think right here is where VVV looks towards these beacon shots of just trying to hit them. And he hits them. Last hit priority off of anyone in the zone is like huge. You know, this is where VVV just, you know, just goes around the corners and just goes crazy. Looking towards it. J-Team finds elimination off of Han. FX gets elimination off of ZK. That's 16, that's 17, that's nearly 18, I think. But OUG are the last ones to actually place out with this first place. 20 eliminations, though. 20 bomb from JL. This is going to give him MVP. At least it should give JL the MVP. Yeah, buddy. Alright, scores right here. Okay. So 28 points for JL with Wolves is a 22.3. J-Team with the A16.5. 15 words. 15.2 for OUG. TE with 11.1. 7 for BBE. 4.5 for JDG. WBG with 3. 2.7 for EWG. FPX with 2.1. 1.6 for ALL. DRG were not able to get any eliminations there. Even with the fights into the Yushan Ruins, outside the Yushan Ruins, and then having to survive, WFZ being the only one. It was just like upsetty spaghetti, I think, in the book of it. But JL got a 20 bomb. MVP stats. 40k damage, man. Jesus. You know, and it's crazy because it's 40k damage where he could be giving the Fairy Shenmech towards Yoda, who has 30k damage. And then 14k damage for FX. The most kill participation between them is 19, where TXJ had the most of that. So he technically would, in my book, take the MVP, but we'll have to see. Standing so far, JL still trying to make their marks, and they did it with that round. So they pushed themselves up for 3 rounds. 32.8 is not bad. And then you had 32.8 for Alliance as well. So they're tied for scoring for their day one performance. But TE 31, 30.7 for EWG, JDG with 26.6. And then the overall for middle 12 has 49.4 for Wolves, which is, you know, a lot higher in the overall grand scheme of things. And then for day 2 plays from OUG, 33.8. 18.4 so far for DRG, 29.8 for J-Team, 19.3 for BBE, WBG with 21.4 and 11.2 for FPX through 3 rounds of gameplay. Nice musket shot still coming out from BBV. Skadoosh. F3 reset, it's a cannon shot, shift jump. The comms, man. I should probably ask them to. I'm gonna ask production team if they can put the start question. Who is it? VVV? Yeah, it's the damage dealt and the kills to match out. It was 8 kills, but his cannon had nearly nearly 19, like just over nearly to 19k damage. Skills and ultimates 15k. Yeah. And then the fan R&B is a 3800. Heartstopper kick and Razor Swift is crazy when he doesn't even use that weapon here. All he had was a group heal Juggernaut and the advanced heal, and the Rupture Gale was all he utilized there, and that's like crazy to me. But he found the gear at the end, so it could have been a reason why he had Heartstopper and Razor Swift in there. But that's it. That's round 3, guys. JL catches their MVP, and with that, we will go into round 4 more style. I appreciate you guys for taking the time if you are at the end of this video. My name is Severio, and I will catch you guys onto the flip side. Any feedback, just let me know.